Our table topics master today is Ranjita. And I'm sure we are going to hear a number of very good, stimulating, put us on the spot types of questions. I just can't wait. But remember, I have this big speaking role, Ranjita, so you might want to be calling on some other people who have less speaking roles. Let's welcome Ranjita, our table topics master.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I'm going to change things a little, and I'm going to show you an object, and I want you to put it in your consciousness and come up with a story to spin around that object. I will give you a few seconds for somebody to volunteer in case somebody has a great story for it. Otherwise, I'll just pick a person. And the time is 1 to 2 minutes for the story. So first, I will start with protein drink. Anybody wants to talk about protein drink or protein powder? All right,
no.
Joanne.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
Okay. When my son was in high school, he was taking a supplement called creatine, and I didn't know anything about it. And I was kind of worried. And I did ask the doctor, he was bodybuilding a lot. This is what he's in high school. He's a football player. It was safe, but then he decided to do a science experiment. He wanted to get some worms and he put them in 2 separate containers, and one set of worms got the creatine and one was a control group. Well, what happened was the worms that got the creatine turned into beetles and they turned into like beetles quicker than the ones that didn't get the creatine. So that was really surprising. So in addition to bodybuilding and building up his muscles, he found out that worms can turn into beetles quicker with creatine. And that's my story. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Joanne. I hope those worms were supposed to become beetles. Otherwise, we have a very strange product.
And what songs did they play?
It's too funny.
Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
All right. The next object is a back scratcher. Anybody wants to talk about a back scratcher? All right, let's see. Julie.
A couple months ago, my husband came across, I think it was $1 back scratcher. I don't know if it was at Walmart. And he grabbed it and he came home with it and told me about it. And I'm like, yeah. So now I don't have to scratch his back as much. So now it's sitting by his lazy boy lounge chair, like we have a electric lazy boy, sits there and he'll just scratch his leg. And then sometimes when I sit next to him, I grab it and I scratch my back. It is like a really good invention. It is like saved, I don't know how many people, grabbing your back and stretching, like pulling a muscle, trying to scratch yourself. That is a very useful product. I wish I invented it. Even at work, I bet people would like to have it, because I have coworkers, and I've done before, I'm scratching myself, because you can't have someone scratch your back at work. It can be inappropriate. So I'm in a door jam and I'm rubbing my back up a little bit, because then I look like a cat or an animal. So I just do it real quick. But it is the most useful thing. And look at Henry. What is Henry doing? He's scratching himself. Anyway, back to you, Ranjita.
Thank you, Julie. I didn't realize the back scratcher was so commonly used. That's great. The next object I'm going to show is a camera. And this is a pretty old-fashioned camera, not your iPhone or Samsung camera.
I can talk
Okay,
about that.
Frank.
Yeah, so when I was in, I think it was 5th grade, this was a long time ago, like 30 years or something ago. I don't know if nowadays they have an elementary school, if they have a photography class. I don't know if they still do, but back then we had a photography class, and then we would go in this dark room, and I don't know if it's appropriate nowadays, but back then, it's like, boys and girls and everybody would just go in there with the teacher and develop the film. And we had all the chemicals that we poured in this, like, I think it was like a tub or something, and then we put the film in there, and we would create the pictures. And then it was like so exciting to see the picture, like how it would come out. And then I was so excited about that I went out there and I bought a Canon. Actually, I didn't buy it. I was saving up to buy a Canon because I was debating which one was better, either Canon or Nikon. That was the brands that we were looking for. And I was just saving up because back then I used to be a paper boy. So I was saving all my money to buy one of those two cameras. I was, still debating, but at the end I didn't end up buying any of the two because I didn't save the money. But I was, and then also I was trying to figure out, like, I was debating which one of the two I was going to get. So back to you, Madam Toastmaster. I mean, tabletopics master.
Thank you, Frank. You brought back memories of those days in that room with, getting the films ready. The next one I'm going to show is a Rolodex, and I know who I'm going to call on this. Hopefully, Stephen. I cannot see his face, but hopefully you can talk about this because I've heard you mention it a few times. A Rolodex.
Let me take you back to about when I was about 5 or 6. And we're living in a small ranch style home in San Jose. And my mom actually had a Rolodex container like that we just observed from Ranjita. However, it didn't have phone numbers or names or contact information in it. My mom used to put all of our chores on the Rolodex sheets. And as kids, I have 3 brothers. Every day we'd have to go and pick out 1 or 2 cards. This is going to be your chore today. And so she would joke with us, like, who are you going to call today? Pretending that there was contact information on the Rolodex. But really, it was just to build and form habits of us kids and us boys, very dirty boys, by the way, of doing chores around the house to make sure that we could fulfill whatever phone calls we needed to make out of the Rolodex. Madam Tabletopics Master.
Thank you, Stephen. I found a new use for the Rolodex. Too bad my son is too old for now. The next object is an apple. I think you've all heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Hopefully somebody would like to. Okay, Jaime.
Apples are the most desired fruit for my 18-year-old son. If you come to my house, you will find apples in places that you won't imagine. Beaten apples, by the way. So you will see them under the couch, you will see them over the beds, you will see them in the bathroom, you will see them all over the house. So when I saw the apple, I saw like a golden apple for my son. Back to you, Madam Tabletopics Master.
Thank you, Jaime. It's great to hear about your son and his apple eating habits. Sounds like he's eating healthy. The next object is going to be a backpack. I'm sure lots of people have stories about backpacks. Okay, nobody's putting up their hand, and I'm going to go with Deanne.
I've never been a really big backpack user, but in the last 5 years, or really more like 3.5 years, I've used a backpack a lot more because I primarily work at home, and I would travel to the office just, 1 day a week, but I also do some traveling, around the country too for work. And so the company provided a backpack for me with, the company name on it, kind of thing. And so I've used it. It's actually darn convenient. And I just started using it. It's like, why didn't I ever use a backpack before? It is so convenient, not only, to take my laptop to and from work or for traveling, but in general, you can load up a bunch of things and you can put it on your back and keep your hands free, or just, put it on one shoulder, sling it on the shoulder. What if I'm just walking in the car or whatever? It's just so convenient. But one of the things I really didn't like about it, and it's a very high quality backpack. It's a company, giveaway to select customers kind of thing. So it's a really nice quality, but I didn't like the company name on it. And so I purchased an iron-on patch that is San Jose Sharks logo. Because I'm a Sharks fan, right? So I stitched that on around that. And then my sister gave me another iron-on patch she's a Snoopy collector, and she has so many things Snoopy and all things, Peanuts. And so whenever she sees something that's appropriate, and I'd mentioned the backpack in the name, she bought me an iron-on patch that has Snoopy playing ice hockey. So I have that on there too. But these days I'm not going anywhere. I haven't pulled that backpack out in months. I'm not going anywhere. I think it's under that desk over there, but by now I have animals. I have a cat that sheds, oh my goodness, she sheds so much. I can't believe she still has fur. And the hair falls and it starts swirling around, and I sweep every day, but I don't always sweep under that desk. And when I do, it's like I could fill a pillow. So I'm sure it's covered. That's my backpack story.
Thank you, Deanne. Do we still have time?
Yeah, one more.
Okay. All right. Flashlight. I'm going to pick on Henry since he's our recurring guest, and we'd love to hear him speak.
Flashlights. I always, whenever I see anything with lights, I am always reminded that you must be careful what you ask for. You may ask for light and you might get lightning. I recently got a flashlight from a friend that is pretty unique. It is a pen. It can break glass if you are trapped in a car or something like that. And it also works as a flashlight. It's very unique. And I decided to offer it to my daughter, who is in the Coast Guard. And she looked at this and said, "What are you giving me this for? Light? I enjoy darkness. To break the glass in my car if I'm trapped? Oh no, I would never do that. Daddy, that is something for older folks like you. I don't even I'm sorry. Thank you, but no thanks. I just prefer a simple flashlight, some with a switch on and off. That will do for me. So again, be careful what you offer as a gift, and be careful what you ask for. Thank you, Madam Tabletopics Master.
Thank you, Frank. I mean, sorry, Henry.
Don't worry, I have been called worse in my life.
All right, I'll just give a minute for people to give me privately through chat a voting of
Could
who gave the
you
best speech, and
repeat?
I can tell you who gave. Do you want me to go through that? Joanne talked about the protein powder. Jaime talked about the apple. Frank talked about his camera experience. Stefan talked about the Rolodex. Julie talked about the back scratcher. Frank talked about the flashlight, and Diane talked about the backpack.
Not Frank, Henry.
Yeah, I don't think we need a full minute for that though.
Okay. All right, we're done. Thank you.
Okay, great. Nice job, Ranjita.